Good morning. Good morning. Everything is running slow, including me. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do today. Per usual, planning stuff would probably help out quite a bit, but I'm not sure what I want to make today. That was all. I had a couple of ideas. I saw a macrame bracelet that I wanted to do that I just couldn't figure out in time. I'm trying to get to the comments. Hello, Tammy. Hello, Dawn. Is the camera good? Because hi, Kendra. It seems to be being slow, and I'm not sure why. Maybe it's just on my end. So I was going to do like a little knotted bracelet thing, but can't find my new tying station and could not find my cork board. We love Steve. We love Steve. Yes. But as Rosanna said, sometimes when you the mess makes more sense than orderly thing does. I said that in the chat on her thing because it's absolutely true. There was a method to my madness, and now everything is organized and does not work. But thank you all for being here. If you are new, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, thanks, girls. I appreciate you showing up for me each and every single time I'm in here. Hello, Dorothy. Great job today. I did have a mini heart attack for you when you realized that you hadn't attached the chain, and then I saw that nope, you did it the proper way, and we're going to be joining it with a jump ring, so everything was good. Hi, Beth. Mama, how you doing? I didn't really see you in the comments in Randy's stream. And then it wasn't until way later that I realized you were in the comments of Rosanna's. But yeah, I was trying to figure out what the heck I'm gonna do today. So I don't know. Let me think. Anybody have any like requests that I may be able to make happen? That could be helpful. Yeah, I'm glad you were able to fix it, but yeah, that like I literally went because I saw that I made a mistake, completely took it off, completely rebeaded it, only to see that I made the exact same mistake that I unstrung it for, got it on, went to hold it up to make sure everything lined up and the pattern was right, and dropped one end, and it all fell off again. So that's why I was like, oh, please don't let that happen to her on her live. But you were good. So hey. Hello, Rosanna. You did really good. You did very good. I'm very proud of you. You did much better than I ever did on my first live. My first live, like I said, was crazy town. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out what it is that I want to do today. Oh, and one other thing that I'll be including in this Saturday sale, which will be in the morning this time, not in the afternoon. I have these little, let me go down to the mat so you guys can see them. So I have these little Bali style little drop pendants, and they are antique sterling silver. So they're the real deal stuff. Luckily I bought them before silver went crazy a couple weeks ago, and like the price doubled or quadrupled. But they're really cool. They have like the little glass or the little like butterflies all around the center right here. So would you like these as a set of one, a set of two, so that you have enough to make earrings, or a set of 3 so you have enough to make earrings and a matching necklace. So, yeah, I'm sure. I was so glad when I saw that you said that you had jump when Rosanna said you at least you did it and you did use jump rings. I was like, oh, thank goodness. So, which would be your preference? So you say 3. Okay. Because these are going to be like $3 a piece. That's why I'm asking. And I should be charging a little bit more than that if I follow the standard like thing, which I can't do it to you guys. I can't. But see, even the bottom of it is like a little flower. Around the sides is too. So yeah, I like it a lot. I have also noticed that it is better to zoom in to show you guys something than it is to bring it up to the camera. And I say that and just realized that I don't know where my remote is, which could be an issue for when we get started. Otherwise, I'll just be picking stuff up all day. But yeah, I did notice that was the fact. And no, this isn't a brand new bead mat. It's my old bead mat. But we threw the black one outside, washed it off, threw it outside to clean it up. And I want to go over it with a scrubby. It's just not clean enough for me now. Even though I've been using it like that for several weeks now. So is that it? No, that's a pen. There it is. See, okay, so if I bring it up here, you guys can't really see it. But if I hold it in my hand further down and bring the camera up, it's clear. Like you can see that there's a flower there now. But yeah. You'd think I'd be able to keep track of the remote. There's only one of them in here. But yeah, so maybe I'll make a couple of different options. But yeah, it's all right, Dawn. Go take care of yourself. Please. I can't come on at least once a week without having to bail. So I hope you feel better, hon. Okay, sorry. I was also like pulling stuff for the sale this weekend, and I need to put up the post so I can start advertising it, unlike the last one, which I didn't even decide on what time it was until the morning of, which was not beneficial for me. Okay, let me see. Thought I had some of my bargain bead box stuff right here, but that does not appear to be the case. And I had a whole, okay. I just don't want you to get tired of the same stringing projects because I have this Willow Creek Jasper pendant and the Willow Creek Jasper round in 6mm, and I found some really pretty, come out, thank you. I found some really pretty gray crystals I thought I could put with it, but like I said, I just didn't want you guys to get bored of like stringing project after stringing project. But I noticed that this Willow Creek's Jasper has a tinge of purple in it. So maybe I will pull in some amethyst. It's like a bluish purple, but it's pretty too. So, because originally I was like, oh, I can put rose quartz with that. I appreciate it, honey. I know you do. I was going to see if I could put like some rose quartz with it, but now that I'm seeing that it has that purple in it, I might do it with some amethyst. Ow, I keep bumping my knee right there. That is good. I don't want to just keep pulling out the regular stuff. Okay, let me grab my amethyst box real quick. Although most of my lepidolite and amethyst, I believe, is out. being sorted into bottles as we speak. Okay. Let me see what I have right here. I just want to bring in like a different shape or something so that it's not just all 6mm rounds. Let me look at this. I know that because I ordered a bunch of amethyst and lepidolite when we had the lepidolite in the box last month. So I can also, or not last month, a few months ago. So let me take a little gander. I just don't, like I just said, I don't want to just pick another 6mm round. I have, well, this is purple kyanite. Ooh, that's pretty together. What do you guys think? This is, those are kind of pretty. Or I have some heishi. I have some really pretty lavender amethyst saucer beads. Those could be pretty. Yeah, I think I'm going to use those. But I have some that are like, have already been destranded. I'm probably going to have to make sure that I have my fine, because these little things have itty bitty holes. They're vintage amethyst from back in the 90s. And as I tend to do, I probably bought everything that he had at that moment because I wanted to. Okay. I'm hoping I can get these little heishis out easier if I do it this way, rather than trying to pick up a few at a time. I know I'm getting other stuff, but that way we can make an informed decision on whether we want to use the lighter saucer beads or these darker heishis, or maybe we do, I don't know, maybe we do both. What do you guys think? The heishis or the saucer beads? I don't know. Let me find some string wire first. We'll use this. I have some silver spacer beads right here, as well as the, good old fashioned 5 or 6 petal flower bead cap. I will probably finish this one off with chain though, not with leather, obviously. Oh, you guys can't even see the heishis, sorry. Oh, here we go. I know I just pulled the little clipper. There it is. I was like, I just pulled this off. You cannot have lost that already, Heather. Alrighty. I think I like the saucers better than the kunzite. Plus, these are like, those are 60 cents. My cost was 60 cents a piece on these when I bought them, but they're beautiful. I just think that they're too like icy purple, more pink. and it's more of the blue with purple in it. So, I guess we'll see if this strands up well or not using this, because like I said, oh no, those will strand just fine. Yeah, I like that. Okay. So these, you know what I don't have though? I don't have any of my silvers. Daisy spacers. We'll be okay without them, I think. We'll just keep them. Keep it simple, sister. There's some of the 2.5. And then I also have these, but those are, like I said, those are pure sterling silver, which is not necessarily a problem. Or if it is, it's a good problem to have. So, yeah, I think we're good there. And if I decide to go all sterling silver, then, or at least sterling silver plated, we can go there. Okay, first things first. I want to do it to where it has some of these itty bitty spacers so that it's more of like a beaded veil, if possible. So what I'm gonna do is, first of all, move my stuff up so I know exactly where I am. Scooch this down just a tad so that I have a bigger stringing area. Why is that? There we go. So as I was saying, I have all of these like itty bitties. Oh, mode, recording mode, done. You can just sit over there and be quiet. I also have some beautiful green pearls. Where did I put those? Oh no. I literally just had them. Oh, Heather, what did you do with them? They're the most perfect green pearl. I literally just had them out. Oh my goodness. As soon as I show them to you, you're gonna know why I'm like looking for them still, even though I have everything else out on the box. Here's just two of them. See, they're like the perfect green. I had to, did I put them back in the box? That would have been silly if I did. Nope, I didn't put them back in the pearl box. I was cleaning this off so that we could wash it. And I put them somewhere. Nope. Sorry, I know I'm bumping the camera. I apologize. Okay, those are obviously not supposed to be part of today's project, or I would see them right here at the ready. So we're just going to move on using the amethyst. So as I was saying, I want there to be like, I want the like veil part to be beaded or at least look that way. So I don't know why I just switched sides. We're not at sides yet, Heather. So like what I mean is when I go through the middle and I pull up, but this didn't stay on. They went all to the same side. That's why you had sides, Heather. Okay, so before I pull this up, I need to separate the two strands like that. Then tuck them through. Pull it up like that. And then we'll put one in place. You are not allowed to shift little beads. I might have to go up to bigger beads. Because I don't want it to keep like sliding down. That might not work. Okay. Then, instead of that, what we can do for the veil, we don't have to work it in. We can do it separately, and then attach it in another manner. See, look at Dorothy. You at least knew what the heck you were gonna do today. I have absolutely no clue. So I've been having to do some really. Where's my silver wire now? See, this is what I get for trying to organize my stuff. I lost everything. I have no idea where it went. Anyways. Oh, I didn't even show you guys the finished piece from yesterday. Because I know I finished it off camera. I don't know. I do have some pretty pale blue that would go with the blue and the stone too. But okay, this part isn't gonna work. And so I'm probably going to do a bail later. So we're just going to, and see, this is what I mean about like the strand wire like memory being so much like stringent compared to soft flex. That's what I mean. Okay, so I'm gonna put you down at the bottom, and then I think I want to do like this. Did you hear that just go flying? This is why I don't seed bead. It's because I do stuff like that too often. Okay, then go like this. No, I want to bead before the bead cap. Bead, the bead cap, the green. I'm just gonna keep it simple. It doesn't have to be difficult to be a beautiful project. And I'm not just saying that because I'm struggling this morning, because that's true, but I'm okay. We're gonna do the flower bead cap again. The green. It was funny because Tammy sent me this pendant, and I didn't know what it was. And I went and started searching, and then I also asked Bernie, and that's how I came to the realization that it is. Oh, thanks. Wait, hold on. Yeah, I missed stuff. You guys are gonna hear my dog. She's dreaming. If she really gets into it, she sounds like Mario in the water world. She'll so funny. Thank you for telling them to hit my leg. Yeah, exactly. Aw, Cheryl, I'm so excited. This is your first live that you're catching. Sorry, I'm such a hot mess. I promise it's just the per usual around here, but you know. Okay, another little spacer. Bead cap. I am going to do this a couple of times, and then I want to like mix it up a little bit, which I don't know if I just do like a little stack. And then those are just here, I'll show you what I mean. So if that's the last one that I do, then what I could do is go this amethyst, this. Oh wait, I want a flower bead cap first. I like to have like a little bit of separation whenever I go into it. So I'm just gonna go this darker Heishi, this the darker Heishi, and this. And finish it off with a bead cap. Let's see. Do I like that? I don't. Huh. I might have to go find my daisy spacers. Or a different. Maybe I just need to stick to the lavender because it wasn't the lavender that I didn't like. It was the other Heishi. So maybe if I just do a couple of those with some silver in between them. And then finish it off with the bead cap. Let's see, do I like that better? Yeah, I like that a lot better. Okay, so we're going to be doing 3 green, and then we'll do a little stack of the saucer beads by themselves up top. Aw, thank you. Yeah, we do own it proudly because I don't. There are 2 reasons that I don't edit. One, because my Derkham's disease, I have a feeling it would be very difficult for me to pick it up at this point in my life. B, over edited videos are not my thing. I don't like watching them. There's a lot of like skippy parts. I just, even when I record, I'll like hit pause and come back, and even that sometimes bothers me. Personally, I know it doesn't bother a lot of people, but it bothers me. So I just didn't see any benefit in it for my channel. Now, will that change? Probably not, but it's just who I am, I guess. Yeah, I like that second break in the pattern, but much better. Don't you guys think so? I think like the little 3 right there. It just helps break it up so it's not the same thing all the way up. And it's a little different because the saucers get the outer saucers have the bead cap. So this will just be a sweet little necklace. The pendant's a little bit chunky, but I'm okay. I'm glad that I had these other I was saying, like, I didn't even know Willow Creek Jasper was a thing until Tammy sent me this pendant, and I was like, I went and found out what it was, and then it turned out that I had these 6mm ones, excuse me, in my stash and didn't even realize it. I like came across them the other day when I was looking for something else, and then I was like, that's crazy. I already have some of those, which is good because they were not. I could find the pendants pretty easily, but trying to find the beads themselves was much harder. So I don't even know if I got them in like Facebook marketplace things or whatever else. Exactly, Dorothy. If they're over edited, like that's people who are just coming to beading would be even more terrified to try it because if they're seeing that it's, if all they see is quote unquote perfection, they're not going to get it. So, okay, wait. So I go straight from there. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yes. Now we do a bead cap. We do a saucer bead. Yeah, anytime I go to Bernie and something comes in on a buyout or whatever else, and I'm really drawn to it, I tend to either buy it outright, like all of it out right away, or ask Bernie, hey, I want to take these ones home. Can you hold the rest for me till next time? And, he's pretty good about that. So. And then we're back to the regular pattern. I hope everyone's having a good day. I know, Rosanna, you got some bad news this morning, but you guys are in my thoughts and prayers, that's for sure. I'm glad he was able to make his wishes known ahead of time, like you said, rather than it being any kind of anything with family about what to do. I also already have all of my stuff out. It's something we talk about in our family because of a situation that happened when I was in my early 20s. That just completely threw me off. Like we were all called to the hospital to pray, and it was decided that we were going to let my grandpa go. And then when he started coding, it stopped. They asked that he put back on. And that was very traumatic for me. And so I've always just been like, we all need to know. And so, all right, Kendra, see you later, doll. So I think it's best to have that all planned out. It's not something anybody wants to talk about, but yeah. But like I know what all of my kids want because they've also done the same now. 1, 2, 3. So we're back to the silver stack. But yeah, if they change their mind about anything, because they're young, so it could very easily change. But yeah. Those kind of things can really split a family if if one person feels one way. So it's good. Okay, I think this is going to be the last of the pattern on this side. And then we'll go bead the other side and figure out how we're going to attach the pendant. I might need to figure out how we're going to attach the pendant before I do the other half, though, now that I'm thinking about it. Because if I'm not able to find the wire, I'm going to have to change what it was I wanted to do. Doing silver, saucer beads, silver. I'm trying to force myself to pick things up off the bead mat the traditional way because, if you never do it, then you're never going to learn how to. So, but that's generally done when I'm, like if I'm doing something. Yeah, that's plenty long enough. Oh, I like that. I know we're not into spring, but this is a very pretty spring. But you could also wear it during the winter with like a really nice green sweater or whatever too. You don't have to wear all dark colors because it's autumn. But yeah. Okay, I'm going to 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna clip this side and decide after the fact whether or not I'm gonna end with the stack or if I'm going to end with the other. Okay, so how are we gonna do this? What I was thinking, if I can at least find that, was that I would do like a simple silver, basically do a lark's head knot, but with metal, and then twist it and turn it into the bail or whatnot. If I just made any sense, which I probably didn't. And to make the bail, this is the whatnot. So I was thinking I could just cut the wire, bring it together. This is 26 gauge silver wire in case anybody is curious. And then I would just pull through the lark's head knot, which is easier said than done. Oh no, I want the knot going the other way. Crap. Or do I? Should I just leave it this way so it can kind of split naturally? Or do I want it like that? Well, I'm gonna try it the other way and see what I think, because obviously I won't know if I don't try. So I should be doing, if I do it this way, hopefully that wasn't the way I just had it. No, it's not. Okay. So I was just going to attach it like that and then spread these and just start twisting using my pendant as the thing I twist so that I have more control over it as I twist up. I'm just hoping that the 26 gauge isn't so, you need to stop twisting, please, sir. I just have to make sure that as I make the loop up top that I don't snap my wire. Okay, I think that's long enough. When did this break off? Oh my goodness. Let me try this again. Pulling it through. How did I not see? That's why that one just looked like it was twirling. It was, because it wasn't connected to anything. Okay, round two. Okay, so I think I want to go this way, right? No, the other way. Sorry. So I want to go in from the back so that the line of the lark's head knot. Okay, now we're going to twist. And you don't want to, especially when using a thinner cord like this, you don't want to make your twist too tight. Otherwise, it's going to snap and break. But that's why I'm using my pendant as what I'm wrapping with. But yes. Oh, no, that's not a sign, honey. It's only a sign that men are harder on their jewelry than we are as women. That's the only thing that's a sign. I have to remake my Steves all the time. Okay, and then we're gonna wrap it back down. And maybe, okay, there's that. Cut off the end. Do a little smush without doing what I just did, which was to, oh no, Heather, you need it to go that way. You were right the first time. Tuck the end in. Okay, this non-twisted bit is driving me crazy, so I'm gonna, and it broke. Nope. Okay, let's try the next size up. Which I have somewhere around here. That's 20 gauge. That's stupid. Um, ooh, but that, Now I just got a thought, which I know, scary. Everybody run in the house. Or go buy a lottery ticket because we're lucky to pick one or the other. Ah, let me see here. What if I did it with a very small piece of silver chain, since this pendant has a larger hole. And then we can just put it on. And I'm going to use the jump ring that's on here because this be tiny. Okay, so what I'm thinking is I could go like that. And then I can just attach the chain to this little loop and put the little loop up. I wouldn't need very much chain at all. It would be the teeniest, tiniest bit. Oh, Heather, it needed to be bigger than that. What were you thinking? Or maybe not. Let's see. Like, go ahead and open this up and attach the other end. These jump rings on these chains, I love getting chains from this manufacturer because you think that they're too itty bitty and they're gonna be very like flimsy, and it's the complete opposite is true. Okay, put down your pliers. Do. There we go. Hopefully my dexterity issues are not going to make this a problem. Okay, go ahead and close that. Back up. Take this. Oh no, that won't work. What was I thinking? Would work. Hold on. Let's put this through. Oh, that was the wrong way to do it. It needs to go this way. Maybe I'm just... Because then there would be two things that came out that could be attached to the loop. So yeah, I should be able to do this. Hold on. Sorry, I'm walking myself through the process as I'm doing it. It is going to need to be larger because I'm going to need the chain to be smaller, because I'm going to have to also attach the loop of this. Maybe I don't need it longer. Every time I say I'm going to need it longer, I don't end up in fact needing it longer. Where's the opening? There is the opening. Yes, I know. This will either inspire you guys and bring up a new method, or no, it has to be a longer piece of chain. Not much longer, just so. There we go. So lay that out. And if I need to cut it short, I will, rather than wasting another piece of chain. I don't think I'm going to need that much, but we don't know that for sure. So we need to put this on. Yeah, guys are just harder. Don't let that dissuade you from doing your macrame, if that's what you meant. If you meant that you shouldn't do macrame, don't let that be what you're asking. Because I've been enjoying your projects. And I hope you guys are all like working on stuff too, especially when I get into like full on jewelry mode or creator mode. Come on, please go on. The chain has such itty bitty links, which is what's going to make it pretty. But it's also what makes it difficult as heck. There we go. One side threaded. We're a third of the way there, ladies. We got that side threaded. Then we need to thread on the other side. Other side threaded. Okay. Then we're going to put this through the back. It's going to come up in front. And then we're going don't fall off side. You need to stay on where are my wider nose pliers. Come on. I just need the loopy loop to come on. It is more than long enough to work, so that's why I'm getting frustrated. There's more than enough chain. I'm just having a hard time eyeballing it in to place. Come on. It went onto a link faster than it's going through this loop, which is so much wider of an opening. Did I get it? No, I didn't catch it. Dang it. Here's the problem. I either bring this right to the edge so I have better leverage, but then risk one of the sides coming off, or I take one of the, no, the sides can't come off. Come on, go in there. There we go. Okay. There, nope, 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 nope. Jump ring, get your booty up where you need to be. See, new people? We all struggle when we try new things. See, older people, and I mean, when I say young people, I mean young as far as years in the jewelry game. Did I get it? No. Dang it. Okay. Oh, take a break. Take a break, take a break, take a break. Isn't it a pretty pendant? Yeah. Oh, I understand. Okay, good. Not good, but good that you're not giving up on it. Okay. I'm gonna try to do it from the side rather than the top where there's a point. Okay, woohoo, 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 I think I got it. There we go. Whoop, whoop. Okay, that makes me happy. I like the way that looks. Yay! Let's all celebrate together. For all those times we've had to celebrate on our own and then we feel stupid. So let's all celebrate it together. My victory is your victory. Woo! And it looks exactly like I wanted it to as well. Oh, you can't see. We got it. I know, Georgina, isn't it pretty? It's the prettiest green, too. I know on the beads the green is darker, but see, it's like the prettiest green. It has like, this is more of like the grayish going into like the darker grayish purple. There's some blue down here in it, making it look like a creek. It's just, at least like the creeks I grew up around. Okay, back to life, back to reality. Oh, I bumped that. I don't need to when I was doing stuff. So if you missed what I was doing, do it on the side, connect it on the side, because then there's not the point or the roundy part to mess that up. If that made any sense at all. Because, you know, those are all very technical terms. But yeah, so I thought it was cool that I already had some of this in my stash. Because because I was like, and that I am organizing right now because that's the only way that I knew how. I'd remembered seeing it and was like, I typed that in at one point. I made a label for that. So it's just so pretty. And like I said, I had never heard of this gemstone prior to receiving this from Tammy. So your bead education is should be continual. That's how I like. I love discovering, like when I discovered cherry blossom agate, or plume agate. Some people call it plume agate. I fell in love with it. And then dragon skin, I fell in love with it. I want to get some of the pieces with the darker green in it too, because it's pretty that way. 1, 2, 3. So after here's my stack. Do bead, bead cap, saucer, bead, saucer, bead, saucer, bead cap. Yeah. And that's the thing with designing stringing projects. People will be like, oh, it's just a stringing project. It's not just a stringing project. Like, that's why I like to have little breaks like that. So that not that this would have been like, it wouldn't be pretty going all the way up. It absolutely would be pretty, but giving it that little bit of a break actually helps people to continue on through the rest of your necklace because it draws their eye up. Having that break draws their eye up further. So it works really well. I just found a lady on YouTube, you guys, that I so want to have on the channel. She literally breaks down what she does in order for jewelry to be her full-time job. So I've only watched two videos, but I know that there are, because I just don't want to do it on Etsy. I'm sorry, and I know I'm probably being stubborn and silly, but I don't think that us as makers, it limits us from going beyond, from all the little fees due, because you can't buy the silver plated and or the silver sterling silver pieces if you're putting out all of those, you're paying all of those fees, because you just don't have the money to do so. So then you can't charge a higher amount because you're using more, quote unquote, better beads. You can't go to the A-grade gemstones, and the stores or the people who are mass producing can, because they're getting a ridiculously low price because they're buying in bulk. So I'm being stubborn, but it is what it is. I would love to create a platform where sellers paid one amount, regardless of how many items they post or anything of that nature. They pay a monthly fee. And I don't know if that fee needs to be like graduated or not, because they would be using up more storage if they're posting more. But even that, like, if it is, it would be, oh, if you sell over 100 products a month, this is your month, and they know what it's going to be. So I just want it to be like that. And Rosanna did bring up some really good points. We had a conversation about it yesterday, and she was like, they control the inventory portion of things and help with the shipping, and they do all of the billing and all of that. No, it is not the same thing. Not at all. And in fact, hold on and I'll show you, because I had Dragon Vein out yet. I literally had some out. So Dragon Vein is, and that's the whole thing. Dragon Vein is just that. It is a stone that is more translucent, that has little darker, like spider veins or blood veins. That's their marking. Dragon skin is this beautiful, like, they look like old world maps to me. And they go from this to more of the lighter, and an even lighter than this one right here. I like the really moody blue ones with the tan, with all of that. Yeah, I've talked about that, but yeah. I've thought about that. I don't know how he'd feel about it. Look, it's not going to be a pretty piece. Yes. This is coating, actually. But so that's the difference between the dragon skin and the dragon vein. This is not at all translucent. It's not at all like spider webby. I literally just had some in here yesterday. It was in one of my containers from before, like, I upgraded my beads. Hold on. I know it's in here. This is it. These will be part of the sale on Saturday morning. So, and I am gonna do some of the dragon skin as well. So this is dragon vein. These are all dragon vein agate. And then this is the dragon skin. I don't think these are the same. I could, because see, these are more solid. So those are the agate, whereas the dragon vein agate are very translucent. They're very spider webby. And I have like some orange that goes down into purple. I have some purple. That's a whole story of why I have so many of these and have not yet used them. There was supposed to be 5 of every color, at least 5 of every color, so that I could make it into so I could make them into flowers. And then they came and there wasn't 5 of any color. Well, not any color, but like there was 4 blue, purple that had orange on it, orange. So yeah, there wasn't even a divisible by 5 number when I got my order. So I have not used those, and I'm a little, obviously I'm still salty about it. Over 2.5 years later, I just had such a good idea to do them with, and so looking forward to them coming and everything else, and then they didn't, and I was sad. But yeah, so that's the difference, Dorothy. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I'm gonna have a bunch of this in the sale on Saturday morning, so you'll have to come check it out. And they're inexpensive. Do, 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 do. And I won't mention who I bought them from because I just don't feel right publicly. I don't need a lawsuit, people. I don't need a lawsuit. But I no longer buy from that vendor. So, pull off a few more of these. The thing about these lavender amethysts, they are. Oh, what are you doing, Heather? You're not in a break right now. You're back in the green. I have several of them though that will be on sale. And that's good. Oh, about these lavender amethysts. That's what you were talking about, Heather. They are not, they're so translucent and they are slippery as heck. So that's why if I can get them on the beading wire without having to like pick one up, specifically, that is a better day for me. Ugh. Luckily, you can generally find silver plated different findings cheaper than upgrading from like the fake gold to the real gold. It's just that with gold, there's always that risk of the gold's not matching. So, and that's why it took so long for the other to be released. Oh, what are you doing? You need a bead cap. Because I was so set on making sure that all of the gold matched. And then it went by the wayside. So here we go, here we go, here we go. 1, 2, you need one more. That one might not be. Oh, nope, it was perfect for the bead cap to go on. Okay, and I think this is the last repeat because I don't like beads on the back of my neck. Stephen calls me his princess in the pea, and that is so true. The black mat that I have down here typically is like 1/16 or 1/8 of an inch thick. And I can have one of these itty bitty or an 11-0 seed bead underneath it, and I feel it. And it drives me crazy. So. Green. I'm pretty sure this is the last pass of green. I will check in a minute. It's altogether possible that I didn't leave myself much room because I tend to do that too. As far as beating up further than I think. All right, let's see. Man, I'm good at calling that. That was exactly where I needed to stop. I'm telling you, I need to go buy a lottery ticket. Okay, so that's 6, probably about, so it's 14 inches right now. I could do another break of lavender or of the lavender amethyst, or I stop right here and do chain. What do you guys think? Should I do one more of the amethyst, or should I stop with the green, or even just put one more amethyst on here? What do you think? What do you think? You're welcome, Dorothy. Is Tammy still here? She always gives me good suggestions. Okay, I guess we're ending here. I don't know if my internet is fast or no, it's slow. Ooh, should I use the rest of that? I was just gonna pull out a different chain, but should I use the rest of this up the back? Well, not the rest of this. This is way too much of this. Or is that too thin? and just save this for a really... No, I'm not going to use a toggle. If I could have found my sterling silver wire, it's probably in this tub right here on my desk. But had I been able to find that, I probably would have, I would have made a clasp out of sterling silver. So I have this chain that's a little bit wider. I don't know, maybe I'll save this one for a really like dainty, detailed, since there's those. Yeah, I think let's go with this. Let's see, 14. So I'm gonna want 3 inches on either side. And because of the chain is the way it is, it can act as its own extender. So we're gonna clip right there. Hold those 2 ends together, find where we're supposed to clip it again. Get out my silver bucket. Oh, the thin chain, it's really thin. Like, that's why I was unsure. Because it's so small compared to the chain itself. So that's why I pulled this out, because it seemed to be more. Yeah, it's too thin. I'll save this for a really dainty design, like a necklace bar or something. I'm going to use this for up around the back. And like I said, it will create its own clasp or its own extender. But I am going to go ahead and use one of my bead along hooks. If I can find the other half of them. Where are they? Okay, I guess I'm not using these because I don't see the hook portion of them. So use that, and then one more. And I'm gonna steal the sterling silver lobster clasp off of this, but leave behind the itty bitty jump ring. Okay, well, you guys, I only had to do the design. Heather, don't jinx yourself. Okay, you need to do this part first. Okay, crimp tubes. Number 2, the long crimp tubes. Oh my goodness, Beadalon. I get it. You want them to be secure, but that is altogether too difficult to get out. I am learning from Dorothy. I am not going to hard crimp it in. Thank you for that reminder, my dear. I greatly appreciate it, and I'm not at all being facetious. But I am going to get a scrap of other beading wire. Actually, I'm just going to grab a little clip off of this one to get, because sometimes this wire is thinner than the soft flex, so it doesn't crimp as like evenly, or I don't know. So I know everybody here knows, but if you've never used the magical crimper, it is a crimper that has a concavity on the inside portion of the jaws. When you crimp the crimp tube, you need to have it centered in between there. You do not need to press hard, and you're going to crimp once. It's going to flatten it like this, making it look like a ravioli. You're going to alternate to the side, keeping that in the center again, and crimp. And all that's happening is that the excess metal from the crimp itself is being pushed in on itself and will make a nice little silver bead at the end, rather than having a crimp, thereby needing a crimp cover, which I don't like those things, so I'm glad. But if you are using bead-along wire, you want to be careful when you're going into cut, because if you fold this back really hard, bead-along wire has more wire memory, so it would have stayed like over to the side had I done that harshly. And then I had a jump ring open and in the chain. What happened to it? Oh, there it is. And then I'll just go ahead while I'm already right here and see another use for the pliers is they also make a very nice little flat nose pliers when you are putting up your jump ring. Okay, now we'll go to the other side and we're gonna just slide everything down to the other side, making sure you still have room for it to be fluid and not too tight, but not leaving gaps. Oops, this one needs to come off. Okay. Where'd my other, there it is. And then again, I will use a portion of the wire that I cut off over there to add a little bit of filling to my ravioli. So okay, there we go. We're good. We're good. We're good. Where's the piece I just cut off? I know I didn't. Did I just cut off this big piece? I thought there was just a little piece that I cut off. I'm not losing my mind. There was a little piece. It's just hiding. We're gonna put that in our crimp as well. Tighten up the loop ever so tightly, as I like little loops. Oops, don't do that. What did you do? You just pushed it up. Okay, now hold still. Where'd your little friend go? What did you do that nobody wants to play with you today? Being difficult, just like this, I suppose. Okay. So, and crimp. And you do not have to crimp. You do not have to like grip this with the strength of Zeus or Hercules. You can just kind of do little ones. And if you want to make sure you stayed centered, you can just kind of go around. The more filling you have, the more beading wire you have inside of the crimp, the faster this goes. Come on, why are you cutting off? Thank you. And then we'll clip off our excess up here, which it looks like it tucked into the other side. Oh my goodness. Nothing wants to go for me today, I swear. Just kidding. You guys all came for me, and I appreciate it. So, even if that's all that goes right today, I'm a happy person. I don't know why this won't let me fix this. Anyways, this piece, as always, unless previously stated, is for sale. You would like details, you can either find me on Facebook in the Beading Besties group, which in case someone hadn't heard of the Beading Besties group, Beading Besties is a group where it's not owned by a channel specific, and where you can post your videos, your pieces, your various social media platforms, all of that. You can post everything like that. The only thing we ask that you not post within the Facebook group is that when it comes to the exchange of any money, that needs to happen via email or on Messenger. I just think it's better. We have not had to we have a team of moderators for that page, a team of admins. And other than approving new members, we haven't had to do anything as far as moderating goes. It has been a self-moderation group, which is so thankful because that's the way I wanted it to be. Plus, there is a private chat for every state as well as U.S. territories, though I got a notice the other day that community chats aren't going to be a thing anymore, which I don't get, but so if that happens, that'll not be fun, and that makes me sad. But we can always continue and we'll figure out how to do it again, because I know that there were people who found people in their local area that they met up with and went beach shopping, or did like little design get-togethers. So I would like to see that continue. But if that's not possible, at least you'll have our group. We are very supportive of all members and want to make their entry, or I don't know, their time in the group a positive one where you guys can print all of your stuff, which I find is very important. And it can be very difficult as a new maker to break into where you can sell your stuff other than on Etsy, which, yeah, we already talked about that. But I just want it to be easier. That was why I started the group. I wanted it to be easier for makers to break into the jewelry world as far as being able to post their stuff and sell their stuff. So, but there we go. Okay, there she is, folks. She is done. I'm over time. I apologize. I'm over time by half an hour. I know that we have all been together for going on 6 hours almost now. We started at 7 o'clock my time. So yeah, going on 7 hours, which I am very thankful for. Oh, you guys can't see it done because I moved. But there it is in all its glory. Very pretty. Finished off with chain up the back, like I said. So the overall length of this piece is 6. 6 plus 4 is 10, so 20-inch necklace. So if you wanted it to be longer than that, you would need to let me know, so that I could put an extender chain on it that is, that has the same quality as the other. But I know I'm probably over because of this darn part, the part of the pendant, trying to get it on the chain. But I managed to do so. I think it's pretty. I like the way it's laying. So there we go, guys. Anyways, I'll come back up top so that we can say goodbye, and I'll see you later. Like I said, I'm going to try and get some stuff photographed so that I can get the notice of the sale popped up. But you guys all have a wonderful rest of your day. Yes, that is true, Beth. It is a way to connect with other beaters. Yes, that too. I just meant that it does connect them within the group so that everybody, so they can get help from other beaters. And yes, connect with other beaters. That's going to be what it's for. I don't ever want it to just be a group about people selling their stuff, because that's not why it was created. So, yes, I hope that you guys all have a fabulous rest of your day. And as always, happy beating.